All right. So, back with this pre-market analysis thing. Okay, on the weekly, right, we're still struggling to get above 2 weeks prior's high, and we are, excuse me, trading inside of that weekly range, right? We're trading in. We haven't taken this high yet or this low yet, and then we also haven't taken this high yet or this low yet. So we have like relatively equal lows on the weekly, and we're just trading inside of its range. So consolidation normally means expansion is coming. Which direction, I'm not sure. But again, this is OPEC week, so we have like CPI and big news coming out. But I'm not really trying to guess what they'll be. I'll just trade what I see. On the daily, we had support at that breaker, but these three daily lows being so equal, I mean, stuff like this normally gets swept. And I mean, we haven't really broken like complete structure on the daily yet, I don't think. I mean, we took out this day's low and this is low, so the next target would be potentially this day and then these lows, but I'm watching these lows because that's three equal daily lows. That's a lot of liquidity. Yeah, I'm mainly just watching that area. Then on the 8 hour, let's see what we got. See, these are those same daily lows here. That's really my target for this week, honestly. But I mean, who knows, right? Nothing really on the 8 hour as of yet, honestly. On the 4 hour, yeah, we had that breaker from yesterday. I don't know why I was doing what I was doing, but whatever. But it seems like we are retracing into a 4 hour order block, plus a gap, right? Because what I'm seeing on the 4 hour and lower time frames is a market maker sell model, right? Like I would say this would be the consolidation, and then the reaccumulation side, and then the smart money reversal side because we broke structure, and then retrace into the breaker, and now we're breaking down again. So any highs that we set on the right side of a sell model normally don't get taken. So you wouldn't want price to trade above this. And what could it potentially trade into? It could be this order block's low. Right. It could be that order block's low. And then I gotta do this. Right, so it could be that order block's low plus this fair value gap. That is not what I wanted to do. Plus this fair value gap. Thank you. What is that? The 4 hour. Okay. 4 hour. Let's stretch it out. So we have the OB. We have the fair value gap on the 4 hour. And then just draw on this small range using the bodies, the highest high, the body of the highest up close candle, and then the body of the lowest candle. So equilibrium is around this area. It's kind of above, it's filling the gap and above the bottom of the order block, but it's in this area, right? And OTE would obviously be deeper retracement. But I would want, if we're breaking down, right, and we want to take out lows, then the next targets I am looking at are those, like basically all the swing lows on the left side, honestly. Maybe the bottom of this gap, and then ultimately below that. So that's that on a 4 hour. I don't need these, honestly. But on the 1 hour, the sum model is like, you see that it, like, these lows are mainly the target, but this area of consolidation is also a target, and that is where we're at right now. Like, we're right next to it. because sell models normally pair their sides like symmetrical. So where we consolidated and then ran up and then consolidated and then ran up, and then this junky mess and then a breaking structure, then it came down to roughly where that consolidation was for yesterday, and then overnight it broke down even lower. It took us here before maybe having a retrace higher to break below that consolidation. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. So like 3808, like 3811, those numbers. That's mainly what I'm looking at. So yeah. And then on the 50-minute, this is gonna get like probably a little overwhelming, but I have all my stuff labeled out, like the sessions and discount premium and the times and all of that. So yeah, that's really what I'm looking at. So my bias is down, just going off that somewhat higher time frame market maker sell model, so like the right side of it. So I should only really be looking at shorts. But yeah, I think that's everything I have. With the dollar, then if I want us to go lower, then I want the dollar to go higher, is what I've been seeing. So daily, you see, we really haven't had like any true retraces, which that's kind of bothering me. But we're just kind of gunning for these areas that I have, which I think are weekly levels from way back, like back here. Yeah, like these areas, this high and then that high and then the top of that gap. So that's where I'm looking for the dollar to reach into, potentially. I don't know. I'm not really big on speculative trading as much anymore. It's just kind of whatever happens, because I'll be speculating, be right, and then still have like a terrible losing day or something. So I'm not trying to do all of that. I'm not right. But what is bugging me are these lows on the 15-minute. All right, those look intriguing. But if this really is just a retrace, right, like on an 8-hour, see how we retrace into this, we retrace deeper into this for value gap, right? So is it just another retrace into a gap to go higher? Because that's all the dollar has really been doing. It's just been retrace higher, retrace higher, retrace higher, higher, higher. So I'm not really sure. I'm probably just gonna stick with the model that I've been using with it, because when I try to add more, I kind of mess up a little bit. But yeah, I'll just watch both of them, honestly. So what is that? This is the 1 hour. That's interesting. I want to see if the dollar will be able to get above this candle right here. We'll see, because yesterday it respected the quote-unquote resistance until like the PM session. Then it just blasted right through it. But yeah, and if the dollar is doing a deeper retrace into that area that I marked at 107.84, then I'm probably looking for the ES to be pushing like above 38.64, like around that area, probably. I don't know. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'll see if it respects that breaker, because right now this is a 1 hour break in structure, right? We set this swing low, and then right after setting this swing low, we ran liquidity above these areas, and then broke down with force, creating a gap. So even though this 1 hour candle isn't closed yet, it has 5 minutes to close. I don't think it'll be a drastic retrace to where it alters this gap. So I think any retraces here may lead to a buy in the ES, but again, not being speculative, just highlighting what I see. Because this candle before already ran down into here, and you see it found support at these two down close candles before the expansion higher. So bullish OB, right? But if it doesn't hold that, then because this is a wick, and wicks have little volume, so you don't really want a wick as your supporting structure. You want bodies. So I'll just look at those areas to get tagged. That's really what I'm looking at. I don't need this, but let me put an alert on that. If it would just let me. Oh my god, I hate when it does this. Thank you. I'll just say SSL. Hey. Crossing down only once, yada yada. Great. Okay, so that's really all I have for that. I'm also looking at Apple too, as a play, but I'm not 100% sure on what I'm doing. But Apple yesterday was looking at it yesterday. In hindsight, it was. I mean, I know these concepts work, but it was cool to see just how this one worked, because it just basically gapped down with this ugly wiki candle into this OB, right? This bullish order block. It gapped down like right into the open of it, and then it traded higher into a breaker, and then it traded lower. So you could have took it off the order block up and then into the breaker down, but obviously I didn't. But I am still watching it, because if I believe the ES is going lower on the weekly, like to take that weekly swing low that we made down at like where is it? Is it not gonna show me? Okay. I don't know. I think it's like at 37 something. I don't know. But if that's what I'm looking at, then I'm probably thinking that Apple's just gonna make it down into this gap and then lower and then lower. But again, not be speculative, just what I think. Yeah, but I think that's it. I'm rambling now. That's all I have. Bye.